is the narrative we need to change. And I'm going to give you 2 or 3 references and resources. Firstly, one of the best websites that I encourage everybody to write down, ifamericans.knew.org. ifamericans.knew.org. This website is made by an American lady, a Christian American lady. She visited Gaza, she visited Palestine as a patriotic, evangelical Christian. And what she saw completely changed her mind. And even though she's still a Christian, but she is now an ardent supporter of Palestinian rights. And she's done an amazing job. ifamericans.knew.org. ifamericans.knew.org. One word, ifamericans.knew.org. Secondly, 2 people you need to listen to and their books read if you want to get more advanced. Or you can even listen to their interviews online. Miko Peled, who came here, we invited him to Epic. Mikopeled. Miko Peled. His father was one of the generals who led the campaign in 1967 to conquer these lands. His father was one of the senior generals in the military. His grandfather was one of the signatories of Israel's constitution, the founders of Israel. He comes from as patriotic Israeli Zionist family as possible. We invited him to Epic 2 years before the pandemic, 3 years ago, we invited him. He was right here. Miko Peled. His own niece was killed in an attack by a person from Gaza. A Palestinian did an attack and his own flesh and blood was killed. This was back in the 80s. And he wondered what would cause, so the one who killed the Palestinian lady who did it, she was a 17, 18-year-old, and his niece was also 17, 18-year-old. He began to think, why would an 18-year-old girl be so angry she wants to go and blow up a bomb in a crowd where another 18-year-old girl dies? And up until that point in time, he had never bothered to study the Palestinian side. When he began to study here in America, the Palestinian side, he completely flipped. And he is now one of the most ardent antagonists to Zionism, even though his family pedigree is as high as you can get. So make sure you listen to Miko Peled. He came here. He has multiple talks online. One other person I'll mention, there's so much more, but again, talks and books. Ilan Pappe, I-L-A-N, Ilan Pappe, P-A-P-P-E. Again, I'm quoting you Israelis. I don't even need to quote Palestinians for this. Ilan Pappe. Ilan Pappe did a PhD from Oxford University. Born and raised in Israel, complete Israeli through and through, and he went to the PhD in Oxford University. And in Oxford, his PhD was about the creation of Israel, and he came across the documents from the British government about the Israeli tactics and whatnot, and this caused him to change his entire mind and career. Ilan Pappe has done the most extensive documentation of Israeli genocide against Palestinians, beginning not in 1967, in 1948, and documenting every single act of genocide and ethnic cleansing. He uses the term genocide and ethnic cleansing. And this isn't an Arab, it's not a Muslim, it's not a Palestinian. This is an Israeli historian who began to expose the crimes of his own country, for which he got death threats. He was fired from his job in Israel. He could not work in Israel. He had to flee the country. And so now he is a professor. Is in Canada or America. He's a professor somewhere over here. And of course, the Israelis hate him with a passion. But he's saying these are facts. These are facts. You guys intentionally had it in your mind. This is what he says. And that's why I need to listen to him. To ethnically cleanse as many Palestinians as you could. You wanted to kill them from day one. And these are all the proofs that and you still want to kill them. You can imagine he's not too popular in Israeli circles. I wish we supported him and did more, but khair, it is what it is. He's an intellectual, he's an academic, he's a historian. And he has actual evidence from the beginning. This was your plan: ethnic cleansing and genocide. He's accusing the Israelis of this, and he has 7 books on the subject. Different eras, going back to 1948. You don't have to read all the books, just listen to him talk. Do a Google, go on YouTube, Ilan Pappe. He actually gave an interview 2 days ago in Berkeley, where once again he mentions all of these facts here. These are facts you need to know. So, bottom line,